So we're talking a little bit about coffee and beer brands, like brewery brands, like how they're so market brandable, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Right.
So like because breweries have so many different beers, it's kind of cool that each beer can have its own logo, its own
Right.
branding. I mean,
And you
you
can
want
have
to you can
themes.
have a theme. Yeah, right. So like in Salt Lake City there is a whole beer company that's called Bohemian Brewery, and it's
Mm.
all German themed. So
Oh,
everything's
sweet.
German
Yeah.
themed. The When you go to the actual brewery, it looks like a German cottage, like big log cabin
I
thing.
love
It's
that
really
style.
cool.
Yeah.
The whole thing is really cool. It kind of feels like every can is like an Oktoberfest, like you're back in Germany, that kind of thing. So that it's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
you can kind of brand through each beer, each type of beer. And then coffee is pretty much the same because each coffee has either a different blend. You know, you can get like Kona, which is from Hawaii. You can get like ones from Africa. You can get beans from different places, right?
Hmm.
We worked with a small coffee company, and the whole thing was Viking themed, right? Like
Oh,
the
sweet.
entire thing was Viking themed, which I thought was really cool. And the branding on it has a ton of potential, right? And when we first started with him, all his coffees were just like Kona coffee. That's all it said, or
It didn't have any
Jamaican.
Viking theme
Yeah,
to it.
there's no, and I'm like, you're missing a huge opportunity, dude. Because a lot of this was 4 or 5 years ago, and the subscription base where you get it shipped to you was starting to take off. I'm like, if you want people to want to subscribe to you, it's because they like Vikings, they like good coffee, and you're making it here locally, which is really cool. But you need to theme your each blend to something Viking related. It can't
Right.
just be like Jamaican Viking coffee. It doesn't really ring. It
It's be
doesn't
like Thor's
resonate.
hammer or
Yeah,
something.
so we went through and we did all these different things. Like their breakfast blend was the Berserker Blend. Like we went through and
Awesome.
we renamed all this stuff. And this was before ChatGPT. So we like
So
came up with the names.
you
We
actually
had
had
to
to
think
work
about
for
it
it,
and
you
it was
know?
really cool. And it's just like one small thing that like when you're taking in branding, you need to make sure that you're doing things that resonate with your brand, like with your company, but also that are going to draw people in. Don't just
Right.
be so plain. Everybody has a Jamaican blend coffee. Everyone has a Kona blend coffee or breakfast, or even if you just do breakfast blend coffee, it's everybody has that.
Right.
Like every coffee bag that you see at Walmart has a breakfast blend coffee. It's like do something different.
Berserker breakfast, right?
Yeah, and that's what we did. And so when it comes to like Black Rifle Coffee is such a good example of
That's
this.
such a
Their
sweet name.
artwork on all of their bags are completely different, super cool looking. Every single one, like they have a Sasquatch blend. And the Sasquatch is wearing night vision goggles and holding a gun. Like that's pretty freaking cool.
I think I've
And
looked them up before, but
yeah,
it's been a while.
they're a huge company. They do really good on social media because they spend a ton of money on content,
Hmm.
and now they're everywhere. Right? They're in WalMarts. They're everywhere you can think of.
Hmm.
But what made them so good is like their branding and the way they do their artwork and their names. It all centers around this American patriotic veteran owned theme, which they are. But every blend, I would try blends just because the bag looked cool.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of companies can take away a lot from that. Like if you are a microbrewery, like make everything, pick a theme,
Make it fun. Have
make it
fun with it.
fun. Because like when I go into a cool microbrewery, like there's some that I go into, like we like to go try different local beers and things like that. We went to Canada. We went to this bar and brewery. I think it was called the Roosevelt. It was really cool looking. Like we went in there and we liked, my wife and I, we liked to try the new beer because it's like, oh, this is cool. This is the only time you're going to try it.
Hmm.
And if we really like it, we'll either buy a glass from them with their logo on it or a shirt or something.
Right.
And because it's kind of like a token of like, yeah, I went there. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I get to wear it. And so I get to see it, you know? But a lot of these small companies can do that, especially like if you're a restaurant or a coffee or you're selling a product, people are going to keep buying. And I don't think a lot of people do a good job of it.
Well, and now, with AI, like you can create really, really cool stuff with it.
Right.
You know?
And it will stay on brand. You can
Yeah.
give it prompts so it keeps the theme while being different. And you don't need to have an art degree or a graphics design certificate to
Right.
do these. It's just write in the prompt. ChatGPT will spit it out for you, and you're good to go. And you can continuously get better at your prompts. And
Right.
and you can even look up tips. Like we'll give you tips as we get better and better at it as well. Like ChatGPT continuously change. So at first you used to have to say prompts like make sure you check your spelling. Right?
Right.
That was one that was very common. And because it would be very frustrating that you'd type in this.
It's like, oh, it's a
here's
cool
the name,
design.
and then all the words are wrong.
Yeah.
There's like jumbled up letters.
Right.
Now you don't have to do that, right? So now that's changed. You don't have to prompt that. So the prompting aspect of it will always be changing, and so you can kind of update how you prompt things. But
Right.
it's such a game changer, and we use that phrase a lot. But AI really is.
It truly is.
And with design and branding, don't miss out on the opportunity to kind of capture attention, capture people that just are like, well, that's really cool looking. I kind of want to buy that, which I do that with golf stuff, like golf apparel. I'm like, well, I like that apparel. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to buy it. And I have no idea about the company. I just think it's cool because the branding's really good and the way they present themselves is cool.
I mean, that just ties into the whole attention grabbing thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to grab their attention in some way. Right. And this is a fantastic example of how to do that by packaging your products, by selling apparel that are tied to your products and that people just really like, you know?
And we're such a visual world. I think I talked about this with my wife the other day. So music was so big for when I grew up. Same thing with you. You're like 2 decades older than me. But no, the music was so big. I remember having my CD Walkman and being in my room and just listening to music and literally just chilling out, listening to music. Kids don't do that anymore because their access to videos is everywhere. Yeah. So everything's so much more visual than it used to be. So it's like you need to be visually appealing and you need to capture that attention visually, whether that's through your logos, the different kinds of products you sell, like that in the way you present it online. Mm-hmm. So I think businesses need to keep honing in on how they present themselves on social media and through ads, and ChatGPT is a good way to make sure you're staying on point.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment below on if you agreed with today's topic, disagreed with today's topic. Let's start a discussion to figure out the best practices to grow your small business.
Please visit us at launchingpros.com, where you can find more information on how to grow your business as an entrepreneur.